Boom, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever thought about writing a note to your clients, but then always forget to do it? Well, if that's you, then this episode is for you. Let's get this one on the road. Here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
Look, a business can give you everything you want in life: prestige, wealth, freedom. It can also take everything away from you. This show is for those who are willing to take that risk. These are the real life stories of entrepreneurs. But before we start, I have one small favor to ask. Please leave a comment. It can be advice, critiques, tips, feedback, or share this with someone because your engagement is the most valuable and most powerful form of social currency. So thank you, and welcome to another episode of Business Bros. All right, ladies and gents, today we're talking about the power of a personal touch in the digital age. Our guest is the founder of a revolutionary platform that makes sending thousands of real pen-written notes as quick and easy as sending just one. Whether you're looking to scale your personal touch or leaving lasting impressions, this platform offers a wide array of cards to choose from, including the ability to design your own or even integrate your favorite software to automate handwritten outreach. Over 95% of their clients are businesses and use their own custom stationery. They also offer gift cards for your favorite stores with each order, making it easy to match any budget. So let's welcome to the show, Mr. Rick Elmore. All right, my brother, I told you it was going to be a good time. Welcome to the program.
I'm not gonna lie. I've done a ton of podcasts, and that was the best introduction I've ever done on a podcast. Well done.
Well, that's what I'm talking about,
awesome.
man. Look, the goal is simple, right? We got to make some fun content for the internet, or
Yeah.
they're not going to watch, man. That's it. That's
Yeah.
what it comes down to. So, quick question, dude. Do you have the best handwriting in the world? How am I going to ensure what you do is good written notes, dude?
Actually, I probably have. My handwriting's pretty unique. It's a little bit more chicken scratchy, but yeah, I think our writing robots do a lot better job than I do.
Perfect, man. All right, tell me a little bit of background. Like if you can
Yeah.
explain it to a fifth grader. I know I did it on the intro, but if you could explain it to a fifth grader what you do, what is it that you do, and then how did you get into this space?
Yeah, it's a great question. So my background's actually in athletics. I played college and professional football. I went to the University of Arizona on an athletic scholarship with my twin brother. He played offensive line. I played like outside linebacker, defensive end. Was really fortunate, had a really good career. Was a 3-year starter under Mike Stoops and Mark Stoops, the Stoop brothers, defensive-minded gurus. Had a really good junior and senior year, led the Pac-10 in multiple stat categories. And my position was all about sacks and was lucky enough to lead the Pac-10 in sacks both years. But then, got to live out my childhood dream, was drafted in 2011 to the Green Bay Packers. That was the year after they won the Super Bowl. Got to play under a legendary defensive coordinator, Don Capers. If you were a football fan in the 90s and early 2000s, you would know who he is. And then Kevin Green, rest his soul, he passed away recently, but he's a Hall of Fame outside linebacker and got to be coached under him as well. So played football for 3 years in the NFL, got done, hung up the cleats, had to change my vision, chase a different passion, got into corporate medical device sales and marketing. Had a lot of success there first year. Really just applied everything I was good at as an athlete, which was just all effort. If you look at my draft profile online, it's like high motor, high energy, never gives up, second and third efforts, which a lot of people thought that was like a slight at me, but I thought it was a great compliment, because we all know hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I always prided myself as a hard worker. But yeah. It was rookie of the year, my first year in corporate medical device sales. And the next 5 years, I was either, top 1% or top 5 sales rep. And it was just because of everything I did as an athlete, just worked hard. And then went back to my MBA in 2017. And that's where my current venture started. It started off as an idea at business school.
So, all right. I mean, I could go into the whole Packers thing and just talk about that all the time, man. But
yeah.
A lot of people do, right? They're like,
stories.
it's not all the time you get to talk to somebody who played in the pros, right? So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right, so hung up the cleats, probably one of the hardest things you had to do. My opinion,
It really
it's
was.
a joy that you get to do. I mean, that you love, and then you got to hang it up at some point. Went into the medical device field. You go back to school, and you have this idea,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this is where I think a lot of the passion comes with entrepreneurship. Is when you have that idea, all of a sudden you can't sleep. It's always on the
Yeah.
top of your mind. It's just something that you got to do the next thing, find out a little bit
Yep.
more. And you said, I mean, your draft profile was I don't give up, second and third efforts. So
Mm-hmm.
walk me through that entrepreneurial spirit. You have this idea. How
Yeah.
does it come to life?
Yeah. So, my parents were both small business owners. They were basically just like 1099 contractors, but that afforded them a life to be very flexible. They were always at everything, and that's something I knew I always wanted to do. I saw my success happening in corporate. But what was going to happen was I was going to have to work a ladder, move all over the country, travel all the time. That was something I never wanted to do. Family is extremely important to me. But yeah, so I just when you're an entrepreneur, there's like something in you. There's like a void. Like there's just something that's not there that you feel is empty and you're trying to fulfill it and you're looking for it. And I think that's what was happening in like 2015, 16. Like I was having all the success, but was not happy about it. So I went back and did my MBA. I was in a marketing class about a year into my program, and I had a professor who was talking about the success rates in marketing, and everything was super nominal, like direct mail, digital, cold calling, knocking doors. I mean, it was all like single digit success. And we live in a digital age, and he kind of ends the lecture. Like kind of half-heartedly joking, but in like a serious way. He's like, "Hey guys, what works better than ever, if not better than ever, is a good old-fashioned handwritten note that has a
Mm,
99% open rate, a 300% on average engagement rate over every other vertical. The only hard thing is it just takes time." And I just thought it was a no-brainer. And I was just like, it's a great business tool. Relationships matter, right? It's rare. No one's competing in the mailbox. Everyone's doing the same thing, ads, online, DMs, apps, email, cold call, right? It's all the same. So I thought if there was a way to figure out a way to scale this or automate it, there would be a really cool business opportunity. So really got to work. And if this is on video for your viewers, I bought this little machine right here. I don't know if you can see it. I know
yeah,
I have
a
my
little bit.
blurred background. Yeah, I have a blurred background because I'm in my storage warehouse because whatever. But I bought this little cheap machine from China. It's basically a 3-axis plotter to try to test my theory. And it took me about a month to write out about 500 handwritten notes. I pulled a free list offline from a list resource to some clients, potential clients that were in my territory I never worked with. I wrote about 500 handwritten notes, and at the time, my quota was only $50,000 a month, so it wasn't a lot. But off those 500 handwritten notes, I had over 28 doctors call me back. It was like 28 or 30 doctors call me back. Which, if you're in sales and you have your client calling you, like
That's awesome.
it's
That's
unreal, right? Like
yeah.
it's just like you wish that's happening every day because that never happens. So I had these doctors, almost 30 of them call me and they're like, "Hey Rick, like this is cool. Like first off, thanks for sending me a handwritten note. Like no one does that anymore. Like this offer sounds good. Let's book a lunch and talk about it." And again, I had a $50,000 quota. Over about 6 weeks, I sold $280,000 in new business. That's $20,000 in commission
Whew.
on what we charge now, like roughly like 12 or $1,500. So I mean, the ROI was like 20x, right? I mean, if that's
Yeah.
what I would have charged myself back then, but like that's when the nuclear explosion went off. That's when the entrepreneurial seizure moment happened. That's when I was like, it works. I knew it was going to work. I'm going to build a business around this. And fast forward, 5 years, it's been incredibly hard. We're building a software, robotics, industrial automation business. We've invested over $800,000 into the world's only purposely built handwriting robot. We've built our own pens, which is really important because like pens are cheap. Like there's a lot of issues. Like if you're sending hundreds and thousands of handwritten notes a day, like
It's
having
a lot
really
of ink.
inconsistent pens is a problem. So we've even had to build our own pen. So, we've completely over engineered this product, this technology, just to send a simple $3 handwritten note. But also our platform's really cool. The real idea behind this is to integrate, automate, and scale. So if you have a HubSpot, Salesforce, Zoho, sales, whatever CRM you're using, whatever payment platform you're using, we can automate sending a thank you card, birthday, holiday, anniversary, do great prospecting campaigns. I mean, you can send a handwritten note for anything, but we just try to make it as easy as possible.
That is one heck of a story. And I love how you have it's absolutely true. 99% open rate. I know me personally, when I go to the mailbox and there's a handwritten note, that's the first one I'm opening. Everything
Hmm.
else, I'm like, spam, spam, spam.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I remember a time when, I think it was early 2000s, I started my first business, and we were doing mailers. And I know, just looking at the mailer stuff, you're just trash that goes in the mail. You're
Hmm.
paying for trash that goes in the mail, hoping that somebody
So
might take a look. But it's
normal,
different when it's a
yeah.
handwritten note.
Yeah, so normal mailing statistics, like normal direct mail, print mail, it's only a 32% open rate, and that's across. You can just Google that. I mean, there's tons of studies that prove that. So 7 out of $10 are going straight in the trash, right? So it's always funny when we talk to companies like, oh, we can just go do this on print. I'm like, you're thinking about costs, but like think about the engagement rate. Like 7 out of every $10 is going straight into trash. Like
Yeah.
because obviously it's a little bit more expensive what we do, but this is an engagement relationship building tool, an opportunity building tool. It's not a cheap, flimsy crap, direct mail tool. And that's what we really try to overcome. There's always something to overcome in sales. If it's like a technical problem, a price problem, right? That's why, sales reps get paid pretty good, because they got to be really good at overcoming objections. So we really try to help our clients understand like the value of the personal connection, the relationship, getting more referrals, building loyalty, how that's going to affect your business. So yeah, I mean, it's a really cool and fun product to sell.
And Miriella, I think that's how you say her name. I'm sorry if I get it wrong. She's right. That's a high conversion rate. The fact that you're saying, look, I'm gonna mail these out, and they're gonna call me. They're gonna be grateful that I hand wrote this note to them.
Mm-hmm.
There's books out there that talk about the power of a handwritten note. I know in real estate they teach this all the time. After you meet with a client, sit down, write a thank you note
Yeah.
or a couple different notes. But the habit of doing it sucks. Like, people just don't get into that
No.
habit. You're literally automating this process. And
Yeah.
if I read this right in your intro, we're customizing the stationery too.
Absolutely. So, for our business accounts, it's all custom. Their logos on it. Especially when like sales and marketing, you want to layer like your touches. So, like when you touch them in email, you want to make sure that you're on brand. When they're seeing your ad online, you want to make sure you're on brand. When you're engaging them personally, like with a handwritten note, like I don't know, you can kind of see this. Like, you want to make sure your logo's there, right? Your name's there. So, like as you're engaging them, you're layering your touches. So that's what we do. Like we'll set up every project that's completely custom to them. There's nothing uniform about this. Every card is custom. Hi, John. Hi, Sarah. This is real pens, like real writing robots. We're not my writing robot warehouse right now, but I mean, we literally have an army, a fleet of writing robots that do this all day, and they're happy to do it. Like we have some people who try to we have a competitor that literally hires people like to sit down and handwrite it, and it's just like, that's not scalable. That's a
Yeah.
logistical nightmare, quality control nightmare. Like it's slow. Like, so I mean, I can make the argument why it's better to have a robot write it. I mean, it even looks better than if a person wrote it.
Well,
Looks
that's
more
the
authentic.
downside, right? Like, I love the custom that we're able to handwrite our notes, but I'm like you, dude. My writing, for the most part, like I can take my time and write neatly, and it's gonna look good, right? But for the most part, that's not the time I'm taking. I'm jotting stuff down. It looks like a doctor wrote it. You can't really read it. You know, it came from me. Hopefully, if there's a logo on there. But yeah, the computer's gonna make those things a lot easier. And you said we can
Mm-hmm.
integrate this into our CRM, so
Yeah.
we already have a database. We already have a client list that's already out
Mm-hmm.
there. We can segment these client databases into different
Mm-hmm.
categories: people who already bought, people who are pending, people who have maybe haven't bought in like 6 months, and then kind of custom make these letters to go out individually, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everything down to, I mean, we do even custom colors for writing. We try not to. We think blue looks the best, but a 5x7 flat, a folded, it's really about just making it a nice experience. And I know you were just talking about you doing it and it looks kind of scratchy. That's why I like, even when I send handwritten notes to, I try to send at least one a day. Like I'll still have our machines do it because like my writing is so bad. Like to me, I know what I'm writing because I'm writing it and I'm used to reading my own writing. But like you want to put yourself in the recipient's shoes. Like you want to make that like an enjoyable experience. You don't want to make them strain and like, what the heck is this person writing? Even though I mean our writing is unbelievably real. You can't distinguish it from if a person wrote it. but it's just not, we're just so far removed from using a pen every single day, so it gets really poor penmanship. So I don't know. I think there's a real need for something like this. Especially in the digital age that we're living in. People are more disconnected than ever. Everybody's, we went from the digital revolution, like 2005 to like 2020. Now we're in the AI revolution. ChatGPT, all these automation tools, artificial intelligence, right? So something like this to keep people connected and together is, in my opinion, needed now more than ever, because we're getting even further away from that relationship.
Oh, I agree. And, the other part of that is, are you integrating some of this AI? I mean, a lot of the software that you have put in place and a lot of the functionality of actually writing these things, that was a lot of hard work. But now we have this AI that can come in and almost give a personality to some of these letters that we're writing now. Because I know, saying thank you or happy birthday, that's one thing, but like writing something in, a couple paragraphs here and there, or like a page, it doesn't always get easy for a lot of people. They get that creative block
Writer's
and
block.
that really come
Yeah.
out.
So
How are
there's
you
so
guys
many
using
tools. Yeah. So, I use AI to do a lot of like fixing. So like, for an example, ChatGPT, it was launched at it was November. I mean, I'm a consumer of content. So like, I feel like as soon as something's launched, I know about it because I'm on Reddit, I'm on YouTube, I'm online all day. Because I mean, I'm
Same.
researching, trying to do, I mean, everybody, if you're trying to stay ahead of the game, like you're constantly trying to learn and be ahead of it versus be behind it. But I mean, ChatGPT, but just by itself, I mean, when there's errors like in our code, you can just copy and paste your code into it and ask it like, where's the problem here? And it would like find it and like highlight it and tell you why it's wrong. So like for me, just fixing issues on my website using AI has changed everything. But for writer's block, I mean, anybody who's listening to this, like you should never have writer's block anymore, because you don't even have to think about it. Like you can go online and use a tool like Jasper or ChatGPT and ask it to write, write me 5 marketing posts about handwritten notes, and it'll literally write it for you. And you say, reword this a little bit, add this, and it does it all for you. Like it takes all the mental strain out of it. So there really is no excuse for like that writer's block. It's educating yourself and understanding what tools are out there to make that stuff easier for you. And I think that's, for me as a business owner, that's what I've been really good at over the last 5 years. Is leveraging tools to help us build this business, because I don't have a software background. I don't have a development background, robotics, industrial automation. Like I had nobody in my family that knew how to do anything like this, and zero nepotism. This is a no loans, no debt, no investors business, completely customer funded. And I've had to be resourceful. So, if you're struggling with something, be resourceful, go online, Google it, go on YouTube. I mean, YouTube is, I mean, I've learned so much
YouTube
off of
University,
YouTube.
man. It's YouTube
It really is.
University.
It's like 99% of that. Like, I mean, I'm literally on there, like how to, best of, like it's always, I mean, yeah. So just be resourceful. I mean, you can figure out any problem if you try hard enough.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And Mireya, I think is how I say your name. Hopefully I got it right. She's saying you even got to give the AI a good
Yeah.
line to run with it. That's
So,
true, but it gives you a good starting point at least. You can fine tune it as you go.
Yeah. So I think what she's saying is like you got to learn how to communicate with it. So the better prompts you give or the better queries you give, the better results you're going to get. And the way that you do that is listen to podcasts, from people who are if you want to become a better marketer, listen to marketing podcasts, right?
Yes.
Because then you're going to hear what people who have 10, 20 years experience doing this, and they're using tools at an executive or a premier level, and it expands your knowledge on that subject. Same things for, talking or speaking or sales or being an entrepreneur. Like listen to people who have been there before you, listen to what they're doing, and like learn how to ask the right questions, right? Like, for engineering, I had no clue what I was doing at the very beginning. Like I talked to mentors in my life saying, this is the problem I'm trying to solve. And then they referred me to somebody who is somebody that cuts his hair. Someone who cut his hair, his wife cut his hair, and her husband was an engineer. So that got me in the conversation of talking to engineers. Then I asked him, and I mean, that's what you got to do. You just got to learn how to ask the right questions, but you got to start somewhere. But be completely curious. Know that the answers to your problems are out there. You just got to search for it. But yeah, I completely agree. The better queries or prompts that you give in Google, YouTube, ChatGPT, the more successful you are going to be in your research.
So I know, obviously, if you're in business, if you have customers, this is a perfect fit for you as a marketing resource. One of the things that you should implement. But are you guys attacking any specific verticals at the moment? You're going after a specific type of client?
Yeah, so being completely self-funded, we've really just cast a massive net because we've taken in everything because we needed to fund this, right? This is, I mean, we've invested multiple millions of dollars into this business. But really, there are a lot of niches out there, nonprofit, political, any relationship-based services, real estate, mortgage, insurance, right? All those make sense because your relationships with your clients matter. They'll refer people, right? Their service-based relationships matter again. Um, but really, I think it's a phenomenal sales and marketing tool as well. Like if you have, your average size deal, right? You have product market fit, your average size deal is over, 5 figures, $1,000 or more. This can be a great, um, what do you call it? Pipeline generation tool. You can start,
Mhm.
meetings. Like that's what I did as a dental sales rep. I sent them out and I created conversations and I got sales from it, right? So it really is, I mean, unlimited potential. We try to tell people that it's a great just thank you relationship building tool because, just saying thank you, like that handwritten note's worth its weight in gold because increase loyalty, you're going to increase year-over-year business, right? They're going to be more likely to forgive you, more likely to try new service, to refer friends and family, write better reviews, right? So just the power of building that relationship we think is really important because every business has a customer. Think about it. Like you can't pay your bills unless your customers pay their bills. So,
Mhm.
having that solid relationship, with your client, in our opinion, is really important.
So obviously there's going to be people listening. They're going to be like, yes, this is something I want to implement. What's the process like when somebody's ready to pull the trigger? What can they expect cost wise, setup wise, time wise? And then they're
Yeah.
asking, is this like a drip campaign that we could use?
Yeah, so the way to integrate, we have an open API, which is an application program interface. If you have an open software that communicates with APIs, you can work with our API to automate that way. An even easier way to do it is just use Zapier. So a lot of marketing, MarTech, sales tech, ABM, professionals out there will know what like automation tools are, like Zapier, Integrately, Integromat, or Make. And you can use those tools to automate. But I mean, it's really just as easy as going to our website as well. You can just select a card. So, and that's what a lot of people do is they'll try before they really buy. They'll go to our website, send somebody a card. They'll get really good feedback and then they'll call us and be like, hey, this was great. We want to do a bigger campaign. Or if you have like a spreadsheet, so you have like a, realtors do this all the time, or real estate investors, like they'll blanket an area and say, hey, we're interested in buying your house at
Yeah.
whatever, 123 Smith Street or whatever. I see that come across all the time. But yeah, I mean, it's really an infinite amount of use cases. Price goes down with the more you buy. We are competitively priced, to be the best option online. Our price margin is $2.67 before postage, so it comes out to about $3.25 per card shipped. But the more you buy, the more it goes down. So it really just depends on what you're trying to do. We help you set it up. If you're going to buy in bulk over the year, you get better price discounts as well. So we really incentivize our clients to stick around and work with us as much as possible.
So the journey, I mean, we talked a little bit about the beginning, the struggle to get up there, where you came from as far as your background. Where's the company today? Where do you see it going in the next couple years?
Yeah, it's been an incredible journey. I started this out of my office. I flew out to California. We're in Phoenix, Arizona right now. But I flew out to California and talked to Buddy to come out to Arizona and start this company with me. And we literally started out of my house. He lived with me. Then we got like a 900 square foot office, and then we went to a 1,200 square foot office, and now we're in a 3,000 square foot warehouse. So I think this is a story that can resonate with anybody out there. I think a lot of people now, what do they call it? A lot of people analysis paralysis. They overthink it, right? I started this multi-million-dollar software robotics handwritten notes company on a $10,000 0% interest credit card that anybody can apply for. I didn't dump hundreds of thousands of dollars into this. I had an idea. I was passionate about it. I tested it. Bought stuff as we could afford it, and over the last almost 5 years, we've scaled it. But to say it's been easy, absolutely not. I mean, there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that have gone into this. A lot of sleepless nights, a lot of long days. You're going from a W-2 employee to being responsible for W-2 employees, right? It's a complete mind shift. So a lot more responsibility. But yeah, it's been an incredible journey. Anybody can do it if you're passionate enough about it and you have the grit and the will to push through it, because there's gonna be a lot of hard days.
Is there like a minimum order that you have to have, a setup charge? I
Mm.
know, especially early on with a lot of digital products, there was a lot, especially when you're doing to print. There's like a setup fee. There's like
Hmm.
there's a minimum order. Is there
Yeah.
anything like that for you guys?
So, I mean, our platform's free to use. When I say free to use, you don't need to like have a subscription. We don't hold your feet to the fire. You can go on and just buy one card and it's shipped. So, I mean, it will ship for $3.25. That's less than what you can buy a card at the grocery store or Hallmark. Um,
Mhm.
so anybody can use it. A lot of people, like again, they'll just buy one card on our website and try it, or they can go and order a sample kit. So when you get to our website, we actually do a good job in sending you this like nice sample kit with a bunch of handwriting samples inside to give you some information. That's free. I mean, we spend about $15 to $20 depending on which ones we send you per kit. I mean, it's a really nice kit that we send. So anybody can sign up. There's no monthly fees. Send one once a month or one every 6 months. It doesn't matter. We just want people to know there's a resource out there to help them build relationships at a more tangible personal level.
I like that. I like that. No minimums. It's easy to set up. And then for the custom stuff, can we do that directly on the website? Like if I wanted to add my logo
Yeah.
or add my own stuff, is that done on the website?
Absolutely. Yeah. You just go to our card section, and the first card option is create custom card. I mean, you can design a fold over card and a flat card. You can drop your logo, a picture, text. Most of our companies, here's an example of our card. Most companies will put their logo on like the header and then like their name in the footer. So yeah, but I mean, that's why we say there's unlimited card options, because you go on there and get really creative. We give you, it's robust enough to not overwhelm somebody. We give you different options to how to align it, change the color, upload a picture, position it, but it's not like a super Photoshop, heavy, you know, card creator tool where it would just overwhelm somebody. We try to simplify it.
What about those people who are like not super tech savvy? They use a CRM. Like we use Go High Level, for example.
That's good.
I use all the automations that are in there, but as far as setting up APIs, not really my thing. Is that
Yeah.
something that I got to do on my end, or do you have support
So
on your?
for Go High Level, we would just use Zapier, and that's a no-code integration tool. Basically, you just say, "Here's the trigger." Someone signs up, and then here's the action: send a handwritten card. So go into Zapier, you log into your Go High Level account, then we sign you up for Simply Noted, and you log in your Simply Noted account, and you just set up the action. It takes 5 minutes. It's really easy, and we can do
Nice,
it for
nice.
you.
Even better, even better. No,
Yeah,
I mean, like you said, YouTube University usually solves a lot of those problems.
yeah,
I gotta get those questions asked, man, because you never know. You got people out there who are just afraid of technology, and this is why they're going back to handwritten notes, man. So
yeah.
we gotta make sure that they're there. All right, as we get close to the end of our time here, I want to make sure I give you the floor. Any last minute thoughts, and also if people do want to reach out, even though you said it on the show, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. It's really the only social media tool I use. You just go into LinkedIn and search and look me up. It's just Rick Elmore, RickElmore, or just go to our website, simplynoted.com. It looks like it's going along the bottom of the screen right now. And we just highly suggest, even if you're like you're remotely interested, just go request a sample kit. We'll send it to you for free. And this is what happens. I guarantee you. I've been doing this for almost 5 years. Even if it's something you don't want right now, people come back always 4 months, 5 months, 6 months later, and they say, hey, you know what? Actually, I can use this tool. It's usually really around the holidays. Like everybody sends a holiday card. I mean, we do about 30-ish, 35% of our business just in like the 6 weeks from Thanksgiving to New Year's. But yeah, I highly suggest this is a cool tool. It's a great relationship building tool. I mean, I think it's an invaluable business tool. I think in business, you should be doing something like this. We just make it super simple for you to do it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's a no-brainer. You should have, it doesn't matter what business you're in. This is something that you need to implement. 5 years in the making. That's pretty awesome. You're on par with me. I've been on the podcast space for about 5 years. I think you've built your company amazingly well. You got the automations in place. You made it as easy as possible. Scale is going to be easy for anybody to use and for you to grow. And you said at the beginning, but I'm going to ask you now that the show's near the end, what was your experience like on the Business Bros?
I'm telling you, the first introduction was amazing. I was smiling the whole time. I mean, you really jack up the energy. It was fun to be on this today. So thank you for having me.
Of course, man. Of course. Ladies and gents, look, handwritten notes, it works. It works. We want to communicate with other people. This is why video communication works so well. It's because you get to understand who we are as a person. And something about a handwritten note says you care. So make sure you guys stop by his website, simplynoted.com, simplynoted.com. You can shoot him an email if you like, rick@simplynoted.com, but it's better to find him on social. You can find him at LinkedIn. Just look up Simply Noted or Rick Elmore. Guys, you guys got to get started on this platform. I mean, even if it's a couple handwritten notes, test it out. Send it to mom, send it to dad. They're going to be impressed that your handwriting got better, first of all, and it's legible. But you get to experience what it's like. Customize your stuff. Use all the tools that are out there to grow your business because they're there.
That's important. Yeah. I would just say that there's so many tools out there to help you be, if not 10 times more productive, 100 times more productive. Like, we're just one tool in your tool belt. Like, you should have an email tool, a social tool, an email, like, outbound tool. You should have a handwritten note tool. You should have a content creation tool. Like, there's so many tools you should have. And that's what you should constantly be doing if you're an entrepreneur. Even if, like, you're a sales or marketer, you should always have like an energy to want to learn. Like, I call it anxiety for progress. I always just want to figure out what else is out there. You should always just be curious because things are changing daily. Like, literally every single day, a new business, new product, a new idea is coming out. So just stay ahead of it and constantly be sharpening those knives in your tool belt because it's going to make you a better sales rep, marketer, or entrepreneur.
Exactly. All right, ladies and gents, open up the toolbox. Simply Noted is here to help you out. Like I said, 99% open rate. When people see a handwritten note, you should be taking advantage of it. One more time, simplynoted.com. Rick, thank you very much for being on the show today. Appreciate you sharing what you guys are out there doing, and congrats on where you're at today. I think it's you're just getting started, my friend. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace, and we're out.
It's over. Go home.
Is your business in need of marketing? Try starting a podcast, but not just any podcast. Podcast like a pro. We can show you how to take your business from being invisible to becoming a brand people trust. Go to www.businessbros.biz